The guy is Mr. Nitin Raj, is a digital marketing expert for startups and Fortune 100 companies. A Harvard alumnus, is a digital marketing officer and a growth hacker. He has explored the domain of data analytics, and he's very well versed with it. He's the best digital marketer in the industry globally.
So, what I'm going to cover today is mostly basic fundamentals of digital marketing. You guys, it will be overview. If there are any specific questions about any specific channel, I'm happy to answer them. So, as you know, what has happened is over the past few years, the digital spend has been going up, and all the numbers actually showcase that. So, if you guys, you can actually look at your own behavior, how we are hooked up to our digital devices. On an average, we lock and unlock our phones 179 times a day. We spend average between 5 to 8 hours is our screen time, and 92% of our time is on apps and 8% is on browser. This is what the data says.
Yes.
And if you can see my screen, you will see how the digital spend is going up. So there's a huge opportunity. So if you plan to become a digital marketer, there's enough room for growth. So today we're going to cover a few basic fundamentals of the paid piece of advertising. So basically, what are you trying to achieve? Whom are you trying to reach? What are you trying to tell your customers? How do you grab attention of your customers? How much you should spend? And how do you measure the ROI of whatever money that you're spending?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I've tried to make a very basic digital marketing map, starting with the website. So traditionally, we would give our visiting card to people. Okay, here is my visiting card, but that has been replaced by a website. So website is nothing but a glorified visiting card. And of course, we have different devices through which we access a website. That would be mobile, desktop, any touch point. Can be your smartphone, can be your car, anything. Everything that we do, whether it's paid or low cost, any touch point, any form of touch point using a digital medium can be used for digital marketing. So for example, if your favorite way of communication is SMS, WhatsApp, Telegram, Snapchat, so that's the form of targeting those customers. Some people prefer to do texting, some people prefer to do video chats, sharing of photos, etc. Whatever type of communication. So today we do Google Meet, so it's another form of communication which can be tapped into as a marketing form. So this covers a overview. I'll go. Moving on is the next piece is social media. So one of the most important things is listening. So this is an example of Under Armour. So Under Armour want to compete with the likes of Nike, Adidas, etc. So they want to know exactly how the sentiment is going for their own brand and other brands. So what social media does is user find users. So consumer is finding consumer by themselves. That is social media. Because when you have influencers and people are following those influencers. Then company comes into the picture and then they start advertising. So for the companies, it's very important to listen to the customers of what is trending and how they're interacting on social media channels. Okay, now if you want to become an influencer, make a video channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So if you have 500,000 followers and your YouTube channel, you'll make close to $10,000 a month. Actually, this is per post, but you can these days there's a lot of competition. So for India, it's much cheaper, but for US, you can make a lot more money. You can make close to 300K a month if you have 500,000 followers. So there's another one which is called Twitch. If you really love gaming, so that's another channel. But these are like more standard channels. Of course, TikTok is not there, so I cannot give TikTok example. Almost all of you are using Instagram. So if you start following others or you build your own channels, and have followers for that specific area. Just like I did for uh, if I create a channel on Instagram for sports shoe size 10 for men, then you'll have followers, a very specific audience will be following who have that particular size. Got it?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to ask one thing, like it's mentioned in this slide that engagement is written. So, sir, to what an extent does engagement levels are digital marketing? Like, to what an extent engagement is like useful to us?
Sure. So why don't I give you an example? I'll come back to this slide a little bit later. Okay. So when I talk about engagement, how it works is you need to really understand your audience, who your target audience is. So I've taken an example of a travel company where they're targeting women travelers.
Yes, sir.
So backpackers, last minute travelers, solo travelers, etc. It's a very specific theme. Basketball, someone like cricket, it's a culture in itself. And as social beings, if you want to have an engagement, you have to think how you're going to engage with those people if you're part of that culture. So social media is that culture. That's how the engagement happens. So I'm showcasing this target audience. And then if I had to do an emotional connect with this target audience, I would, and I want to sell tickets, flight tickets. So I would not tell the customer, go and buy the flight ticket. I would tell them I'll have Instagram posts, talk about Rwanda, the wildlife in Rwanda. So there's an aspiration, we should visit Rwanda.
Yes, so basically the consumer will try to relate it with it.
Correct. So straight away, don't jump to the point. First, build a relationship.
Yeah.
And that's how the engagement happens. So this is part of the cycle. So content messages are also good, but how they are done. So for example, I've tried to explain the difference between a bad engagement and good engagement of customer experience. So mostly people type 75% off. It's a very bad way of getting customers. You'll get a lot of people to come to your site, but it's a very bad experience. And on the right, there is Nike says flat 40% off. What that means is no matter what product you pick, you will get 40% off. So with the 75% off, you would get probably 1,000 odd customers. But after 2-3 products, they'll find that there are products which have 60%, 50% off, 40% off, 35% off, 20% off. They're all been clubbed together.
Yeah.
Okay, so they feel cheated. Emotionally, they don't feel connected with the brand. Now, with 40% off, you might get only 300 visitors, but all the products would be 40% off. They'll have excellent customer experience. That's how they get engaged with the brand.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so that's the piece of the social media of how you engage with the Facebook audience or Instagram audience. Like, of course, these days a lot of people have moved from pictures to videos. So a lot of videos get shared. So if you're really good at making videos for a niche market, I think that's the best way to engage with people, because no longer people don't like to read. The only reading and texting happens is now WhatsApp. All is short videos. TikTok is a case study in itself, how brilliant they have done it in
I
India.
think nowadays people don't devote so much time to all these. They just want everything in a crisp and short manner. That's why they go to WhatsApp and all these in-shots kind of apps.
Yes, so the value comes with created content. So basically, whatever you want to do in your digital marketing, everything is about how crisp you can get and how created content you can bring. So the news websites, the video websites, somebody who does the curation for you, top 10 videos, top 10 cricket shots, top 10 badminton tricks. Someone who's done that work, they get maximum videos. So you don't have to sometimes build the content. You can basically curate the content and get more engagement out of it also.
Yes, absolutely agree with this point of yours.
Okay. Well, as you build on digital marketing, you would be asked a lot of questions by your marketing head. So one of the key things is to continuously test your campaign, and you have to do real time testing and make tons of campaigns. So as I was showcasing in for example, in Atlas, what normally I do is um, if I go on to ads and I go on. Okay, so basically I have multiple ads over here. So I have men's shorts also, and I have another version also. So for the same keyword, I will be running A/B test of which ad will perform better for me.
Yes, sir.
Because they're structured as part of my single campaign, so the campaign will automatically pick whichever ad is performing better for me. Google will automatically select that and help me scale my campaign.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's what optimization comes. Next piece is the amplification of the campaign. So it's very important how you scale up your campaign. So basically, you need to understand the ROI piece, the key matrix. No matter what app, website, uh, or anything that you plan to build or market, there are certain metrics that you need to keep in mind in order to have a profitable growth. Because at the end of the day, there are two types of companies. Either they'll ask you, we want growth at any point of time, or they'll ask you, we want growth also, but we want at a profit also.
Yes,
So
sir.
sometimes you feel that they're opposite direction. They're not. It can be done. It has been done by many companies.
Hmm.
So you need to keep a very close eye on the traffic, how much traffic you're driving, what kind of traffic you're driving. Keep a very close eye on the bounce rate of that traffic. So if it's website, it's bounce rate. If it's apps, it's install, uninstall rate. If they're TV apps, then again the ratios, viewing ratios. Then of course are the registration, transactions, and the most important piece is the retention. So it's not about just bringing a customer, it's how you retain that customer. So that's the most important part. Coming to network effect. So for example, if you guys understand Uber, how Uber works, so most of these companies um, try to create a network effect. What that means is Uber would bring on drivers. As it brings on more and more drivers, more and more customers will also come on board, and it has a network and scaling effect. Facebook did a viral campaign when Facebook started. It sent messages to 20 other friends that your friend is on Facebook, you should join, and that again created a viral network effect.
Yes, sir. I very vividly remember that. Like it was a trend when Facebook started this. Everybody was on Facebook only, and now on Instagram. So trend goes on.
Yeah, it's again different forms. Then of course one of the most famous one is invitational strategy. So basically you lock
Yes.
your site and ask people recommend 5 friends, then only you will get access to it. So that's another strategy for network. Last thing is of course the incremental transactions. You're most profitable when your existing customer does the second transaction with you. That's the most important metric that you have to keep in mind when you are doing digital marketing.
So,
So,
sir, is it
what?
related? Uh,
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Is it related to trust building or to have a fiduciary relationship with the customer?
it's about the value of the customer. So basically,
Okay.
when you have a second transaction with the customer, so that customer has already established trust, and that customer is going to recommend you. To tell you in numbers, we did a research and we found out when we asked customer to rate us, and if they're rating us 5, the retention rate is 85%. But the moment they rate us 4, which is 1 point less, we straight away lose 60% customers. So 1 to 4 retention level is 25%. So
So
even
I
though
think
customer, yeah,
yes, yes. So I think the Uber and all these Ola, they also like work on this model only. Not even Ola, Uber, all the apps like they have this rating, but I never thought with this angle that there is a retention rate, and that's quite insightful. Like you're telling this to me.
see, it's all about data.
Yeah,
Everything has become data driven. So as digital marketers, you have to keep a very close eye on data in every metric. If the data is changing, there is always a relationship. Always. You just need to understand the entire customer journey. So let me talk about these customers who rated 5. They would often buy more. They would visit the website more, and they would care less about the price. So you should actually focus more on those 8 customers who bought and try to ensure that they come back again, rather solving the problem of those 2 customers. It's good to talk to those customers, but not invest too much energy on those customers. I
yeah.
personally believe once an unhappy customer is an unhappy customer. No matter what you do, you cannot fix them.
Yes, sir. I agree with this point. Like customer relation is of utmost value.
Yes. So digital marketing is not just about getting leads or closing the transaction. It's about building the relationship, because as you spend more and more on digital dollars, your brand should also grow at the same time. You cannot ignore that. That's how you will build brand value. So these are important metrics. So is your customer buying more? Are they visiting often? Are they paying more money? Are they spending more time? Are they opening more of your emails? Have they recommended other customers? So these are some major metrics that a lot of digital marketers miss out.
So, in the end, I would like to thank you for taking out time from a busy schedule to join in our virtual event. The session was indeed very insightful and informative. And personally speaking, I am a marketing enthusiast, and for me, like this was a golden opportunity to interact with you. So, thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you for having me.